This is the Reign of Books Book Talk. You're here with Josh and John. We're talking Ilium by Dan Simmons. This is a duology, and Ilium is part one of the duology. So, short, epic science fiction fantasy by one of our favorite authors. John can tell you in one word what this book is about, which he will get to. He will hold that thought. But it's epic. It's epic. It's different from his other work we've read, but don't be turned off if you open the first page and it talks about the Greek and Trojan War. It's not a history lesson. It's actually a time traveler. Imagine you experiencing a place in history and you're like, holy cow, you actually get to see the event as it happens. So for those of you who want an interesting take on the first-hand perspective of Achilles versus Hector and all these other famous Trojan and Greek heroes, this is your book. It's filled with humor. I absolutely loved it. There's too much to actually to go and start delving into because they talk about all the battles, and it is ripe for action and humor. And we're talking twist that I don't think anyone will see coming unless John figured out the book already at the end of part one.
Like usual, how about this? If you enjoy Homer's Iliad and you like things about the Greek and Trojan Wars and you like Shakespeare and you like sci-fi and a far-flung future with really advanced humans and crazy technology and sprinkle that with a little bit of Time Machine, you'll love this book. And Dan Simmons pulls all of it together. That sounded really insane, I know it, but you know what? It worked. You read this book, you'll see at the end, it worked. And at the bottom, the bottom line of this book is that he has taken these things that we consider myth, but if you go far, far, far into the future and you realize that the humans were so advanced and we had quantum tunneling, we could move through space and time, what we think of as myth right now actually was reality for those people in our faraway past, because people in our faraway future went back through space and time to mess around with us a little bit. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, disclaimer. This is a spoiler book talk, where we talk about everything in the book, anything in the book in 5 minutes or less. John, I couldn't have described it more perfectly. It's pretty ambitious, and you would think that, Dan Simmons is just trying to make everybody happy. He's literally just, cherry picking all this random stuff, and it's crazy. But no, it's not, because he has an ensemble cast. This is an ensemble piece. And the character arcs of all the 8 or 9 main characters are really big character arcs. They go through a lot of growth. Some of them are weaker than others. The regular humans, which are basically just left over on Earth, poor kids have nothing to do but live to 100 and then die. And it's like the biggest sham in history. Don't go to the station in the clouds. Don't do it. So seriously, these guys have nothing going for them, but they learn to reassert their humanity, their will to fight, their will to survive, and I couldn't even figure out the terminology when we were talking about earlier, but it's their preordained destiny to take over the cosmos. And then you have robots that we invented sometime in some history somewhere that went to Jupiter and have come back, and then you have the gods on Mars. So it's all pretty crazy kooky, but John, it works. It really works. My favorite part is frankly the Greek gods, how they're petty, they're fickle, they're watching humans slaughter each other on the ground, but then you have these humans who are literally like the best specimen of humans. The Greeks and Trojans, they are bred since birth for war, and they're basically going at it toe for toe, and they do that for a decade. So the explicit nature of this in this 20th century author or scholar, who is documenting their war is just, for me, it's really cool. It makes history interesting for me. But like you said, the outcome is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, Hockenberry, the scholar, tries to screw with history, and guess what? History screws with him.
Yeah, it's kind of everything got jacked up. Past, present, future, everything got jacked up. Now be warned, readers, potential readers, this book is brutal, okay? There's blood and guts, there's cannibalism, there's, I guess it's rape, because the gods are taking human form and doing what they want with the human women, and there's people being mauled by dinosaurs. So come in with your big boy pants on, I guess.
But intermixed with all this brutal reality, it's not graphic, it's not sensational slaughter and horror, it's just like the way it was. But I loved Helen of Troy. the woman, if you know your history, that they fought 10 years worth of war over this one woman. So, you know what? Guess what? Hockenberry, the scholar, he gets to meet her. He was actually a little bit of a voyeur, a little bit of a creepo. But it goes to show you after 10 years, come on, are you not even tempted to see the most beautiful woman in the world? So we talked about there's humor with the third group, which are basically two robots.
Those are my favorite, Josh, the Shakespeare guys. Yes, there was Shakespeare in this story as well.
Shakespeare robots? Duh, you're kidding, right?
No, I'm not. And in the words of Monmouth, our main Shakespeare robot, I would like to sum up the story by saying,
That was his reaction to the epic cliffhanger. So there was a cliffhanger. It's a duology. Come on, how are you going to read book 2 unless there's a cliffhanger? The gods go to war with somebody. The gods actually are tested. These suckers, these fickle, petulant little brats up in heaven toying with man's fate, they get toyed with. So we won't spoil it totally, but suffice to say, it was awesome. And we leave off with two pretty powerful groups, the fate of humanity, and all maybe existence in the balance. So let's get part 2 underway. So everybody, thanks for listening to Ilium. John, any closing thoughts, words of wisdom?
Let the quantum tunneling begin. Achilles rage.
What did Achilles say? Let the dogs of war, unleash the dogs of war, which was stolen from Shakespeare, and I'm paraphrasing. All right, I'm going to go before I embarrass myself more. See you guys.
Victory.